And happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to the Type Tune Tint 2025 special, extra special, cool holiday edition. For this edition, I have corralled 4 of my favorite interviews from the last year. We're going to bring to the table some Christmas, some Hanukkah, some music, and some written word. It's all going to go in this 40 to 45 minute segment or so. And these are all among the favorite people I met this past year. Playing under me right now is a version of Jingle Bells done by my first guests. This is the country bluegrass band Nu-Blu, who I only met a couple months ago. I mean, these guys have been playing together for 20 some years. You know, and as I said last time, where the hell have I been? You know, I'm glad that I discovered y'all, and we had a very nice chat. And I'm joined today by the 2 founders of that group, Carolyn and Daniel Routh, joining me from their hometown of Siler City, North Carolina. Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Same to you. So I learned last time that when you're not touring and playing, you acquired a hardware store, which I just think, you know, to me, that's part of like your whole story. Your whole story is not just about making music. It's about that whole hometown kind of feel and legacy that you bring with you every place you go. So I must ask you, how is business at the hardware store since we last spoke?
Business is good. You know, we're clicking right along with it. The store was closed. It closed down last February and we reopened it in August, so we had a little bit of a gap there. So folks are just kind of learning, oh, the hardware store's back open. But you know, that's why we purchased it. We didn't really purchase it for the retail aspect. We purchased it because it's the hardware store. It consists of 2 buildings. We're right dead center of our downtown. And it's kind of like the heartbeat of downtown. And when it closed, downtown it lost the heartbeat. It lost everything. And so now with it back open, people kind of have this thing. Because I mean, people come in here to get stuff, but they also just come in to check in and say, hey, what's up? And you know, the hardware store has always had a big barrel of candy on the register. So people will just come in and grab a handful of candy. And you know, it's more the cultural aspect of it. And you know, this town has been so supportive of us and our band and our music. And whenever we saw the opportunity, you know, to come in and literally save something, because it was going away, it wasn't going to be here. So when we saw the opportunity to save it, we had to do it. You know,
that's such a small town America story. Even though Siler City is not that small, right? You're sizable. You're an actual city. You're not just a little borough like my town is here. And you talked about the music, so let's get to that. The last time we spoke, you guys were getting ready to pack to go to Nashville for the Josie Awards, I believe. And you guys, congratulations on winning a Josie Award. You won there's a ton of categories, but you won for Music Video of the Year in the duo group category for a song from your last album called The Will. Tell us, first of all, either one of you, about the Josie Awards. What are they? They're for independent artists, basically, correct?
Basically, yeah. It's a way for independent artists in the country, Americana, and bluegrass worlds to get to kind of start getting a bump up. You know, there's a lot of independent artists that are out there and they do phenomenal work every day in and day out. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's you know, they have their following, but then it's like there's not a lot of outlets. There's some media outlets that are out there that do well for independent artists, but it kind of just is an in-between, you know, to help independent artists go more mainstream and to get out there and to give some recognition.
You won this award for this song called The Will. And Carolyn, tell me a little bit about this song, what it's about and how it came about.
This song for me is very personal in a lot of ways because I just lost my dad not too long before we did this. And The Will talks about a farmer, and poor farmer, he's farmed all of his life, and his wife had passed away and he passed away, and it's this will that he's leaving everything to his kids, but he doesn't have any material possessions to leave to his kids. And so it talks about the things that they're getting, the love, the legacy that he left, the beautiful memories, how he feels about them, his friends. And ultimately it's about, it comes around about God, and that those are the important things in life. When we were blessed to have Ricky Skaggs and Sharon White to sing with us or sing with me on it. And it was just a phenomenal experience and a beautiful song to be able to share with them.
It is a beautiful song. Ricky Skaggs and Sharon White are a married couple, right? And they're kind of like Grand Ole Opry royalty, right? I mean, they've been around for a long time. And the three of you together, you sing and they sing with you, and then Nu-Blu is accompanying you. This is The Will, sung by Carolyn, Routh, Ricky Skaggs, and Sharon White, backed up by Nu-Blu.
He'd been a farmer all of his life, working in that Carolina soil. He was a good man. 2 years ago he lost his wife. He died without a penny for all his toil. The family gathered round to read the will, knowing there was no big mansion on a hill. It read, although my possessions were few, I have some things that I would like to leave to you. To my son, I leave my name, the pride and the honor from which it came. My medals from the Vietnam War, rose petals your mother wore the day she took my hand and took our name. Son, promise me you'll never go astray, and I will not have lived my life in vain. To my daughter, here's a sealed envelope. There's nothing in it but all my love and hope, that you'll find a man who loves you as much as me, give you everything in life you'll ever need, just like you did for me. And to my friends, I give thanks for the laughter, the good times, and all those silly pranks. To the Lord above I give my praise. I thank him for the gentle rain that saved our crops time and time again. I thank him for forgiveness of my sins and taking me home to see my wife again. And right below where the will was signed, it read, me and Mama will see you on the other side.
Boy, that song is just beautiful. The harmonies with the three of you, it's like butter, you know? It's like they come together just so flawlessly. It's almost like a music, you created a new musical instrument with those three voices. It's holiday time now. What do you guys do for Christmas? Do you guys do something at home, or do you travel, or what's your deal?
We stay at home. We get to spend Christmas with the family,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
really nice after being on the road and
Yeah.
doing so much during the year with the band and the other businesses. It's really nice this time of year.
We're going to go out of this segment and segue to my next guest with another Nu-Blu tune from your Christmas collection called Shine. And this is going to be you singing, let's see, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And he is, despite any rumors to the contrary, people. You guys, I really appreciate you being with me again. I wish you nothing but success, more success, really, in 2026. And I wish you guys a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
All right, folks. So we've had some holiday music from Nu-Blu. And in this episode, we're doing not only the singing word, but we're doing the spoken word. And that brings me to my next guest. Charles Wiedenmann is a 4-time returnee to Type Tune Tint. This is the 4th time I've had him on the podcast. And that tells you something about what I think about his talent. He's a very talented guy. He's written a ton of books. The reason we're here today is he wrote a book of short stories, all with a kind of a Christmas holiday theme. Charles, hello and welcome from downtown Philadelphia, my hometown. How you doing?
Nice to see you, Tom. Thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, of course. So when I found out that you wrote this book, Holiday Hearts, Stories of Love and Cheer, specifically about holiday kind of sensibilities. And I read the first 2 stories in here. And, you know, if it weren't coming up on the dead of winter, I would say this is a great beach read. You know, it's escapist, nice stories for just this time in the world when we really need it, you know. Charles, for those of you, just a little bit of background. I first met him a couple years ago when he wrote a book called Lawndale, which is a look back, a nostalgic look back at his childhood in the Northeast Philadelphia neighborhood by the same name, where I grew up about a mile away. And then it was followed by another nostalgic book called Down the Shore, where he talks about summers at the Jersey Shore, Wildwood Crest, all these iconic places in at the Jersey Shore. And just, you know, for your information, the episode I did on Lawndale is still, after 6 years, my most downloaded and listened to episode, followed
Wow.
closely behind by Down the Shore. And it's got to be because people love nostalgia. People want to be reminded of a simpler time, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. Yes. Someone asked me the other night, what is it about nostalgia people love so much? And I thought about it for a second and I thought, well, it's memories and things from a simpler time when life was easy.
Yeah.
And people love that.
Yeah.
You only have that window for a short period of time in your life. And it just marks you deep like a brand.
Yeah, totally. And even the book that you wrote here for the holidays, these stories have kind of a little bit of that old-timey feel to it.
Yeah.
So I only read the first 2, but the first one is about our hero is a young woman named Ellen who tries to raise some money. She's making money to pay her college tuition, and she goes into business. She puts a note up on a hardware store bulletin board about she wants to wrap your gifts. She'll wrap your gifts for you for a fee, et cetera, et cetera. And you work in a hardware store, and I was just wondering, is there some kind of a parallel there? Was there an inspiration there?
Yes. I was leaving on Sunday. It was a Sunday. It's about 3:00 in the afternoon. And we were leaving and I was locking the door and I saw in the window that someone had posted a little flyer about, you know, I'll wrap your presents for you or help you plan your holiday party or even clean up and that sort of thing. $5 minimum. And I looked at it and I was like, that is so nice that someone wants to do that for the community. And that's what sort of began to inspire it. I mean, there's more to it than that, but.
Well, why don't you start by reading? I asked Charles to kind of figure out a little passage he could read us to give us a chunk of his work here. So read us I guess this is your forward. I think that's a really good way to kind of set this up.
It all started with a flyer. I was passing by the window of a hardware store on a chilly December evening when something caught my eye. A small handwritten sign posted just inside the glass. It was from a young woman offering her gift wrapping services for the holiday season. The simplicity of it struck me. Here was someone trying to make a little extra money likely a college student or someone just starting out, offering their time and effort to help others during one of the busiest times of year. There was something both charming and poignant about it, and as I walked home, I couldn't stop wondering about her story. That night, an idea began to take shape. What if this girl's story wasn't as straightforward as it seemed? What if behind her flyer and her services was something more, a deeper longing for connection, a desire to make sense of the season, or maybe even a chance for love? I sat down and wrote what would become the first story in this collection, a tale about a girl and her gift wrapping adventures during the holidays. But once I started, I couldn't stop. There's something magical about the holiday season. It's a time when ordinary moments feel extraordinary, when kindness and generosity seem to carry a little extra weight, and when love, whether found, rediscovered, or hoped for, shines brighter. I found myself inspired not only by real life events I'd experienced or observed, but also by the endless possibilities that this season seems to create. Before I knew it, one story turned into two, then three, then a collection of short stories, each filled with its own slice of holiday magic. Some of these tales are drawn from reality, moments that stayed with me long after they'd passed. Others sprang entirely from my imagination, fueled by the timeless charm of the holidays and the universal desire for connection and joy. Each story is a little window into the heart of the season, its wonder, its complication, and its undeniable warmth. So whether you've ever caught yourself staring at a flyer in a store window, reminiscing about a chance encounter, or dreaming of cozy nights by the fire, I hope you find a little bit of yourself in these stories. They're meant to be enjoyed with a warm drink in hand, a blanket on your lap, and the spirit of the season all around you.
Again, it's all feel good stuff, and I can't think of a time in history where we need feel good stuff more. That's another podcast. But anyway,
I certainly do.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? I wish you a great holiday. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope that you have some ample time off from working at the hardware store, and continue writing, man. It's always great to have you on.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate it, Tom.
All right, Merry Christmas, dude. This year, I believe we're celebrating Hanukkah just a week or so before Christmas. And the music you're hearing underneath me is a tune called Oi Hanukkah. And this introduces me to our segment, which is going to explore the relationship between music and Hanukkah. And who better to do that than my guest, Dr. Hankus Netsky, my former classmate at Central High School in Philadelphia. We graduated in 1972, class 231. We just re-met again, I should say, about a month or two ago, late in fall of 2025. Hankus is a PhD in ethnomusicology, and he has spent much of his life as a student and as an instructor at New England Conservatory. So his specialty is klezmer music, which is what we talked about, and kind of, Jewish and Yiddish music through the ages. So, Hankus, that's my introduction. I hope it was okay.
Wonderful, Tom. Great to be back.
Yeah, I've never met anybody who knows more about Jewish music and Yiddish music than you, so I thought who better to talk to about Hanukkah and its connection to music, or vice versa. Has Hanukkah changed over the years, just in terms of the way we in America celebrate it, do you think?
Well, Hanukkah is an interesting holiday, right? Because it's really, the Maccabees are in the New Testament, not the Old Testament, which gives it a different kind of slant than any of the other Jewish holidays. It's not actually a religious holiday for the Jews. It's a family holiday. It's a community holiday. And it's one of the holidays where you can have an orchestra or a band playing the music. It's not celebrated in the synagogue, it's celebrated at home. Although synagogues do have Hanukkah celebrations too.
Has music always been associated with Hanukkah celebrations pretty much since day one?
Well, yeah, I mean, Handel wrote Judas Maccabeus. There have been versions of Rock of Ages, Ma'ot Tzur, since as long as there's been songs, and very famous ones from the 1600s, 1700s that we still sing, Italian ones, North African ones, Hasidic ones. So it's an interesting holiday in that it's a holiday that is mostly celebrated through music.
This is a little bit of a non sequitur, but my wife and I watch the HGTV network on cable, and they have a show there called Holiday Hoarders, right? These are people who spend their entire lives collecting Christmas ornaments and Hanukkah ornaments, right? All kinds of stuff, lights and lawn stuff. And they did this, they did a feature on a woman named Flo Weinstein, I think her name is. She lives in West Berlin, New Jersey, which I think is in Camden County.
We
She
say
spends her
Berlin.
entire life collecting Hanukkah lights, decorations, Stars of David, everything's blue and white. She makes people put on costumes when they come in. And, that to me, as somebody who grew up, with Jewish kids in my junior high and in high school, I always thought of Hanukkah that was kind of celebrated in a more low key way. Maybe I'm wrong. What the hell do I know? Do you think that Hanukkah is becoming bigger and more flashy, not only in that way, but in its music?
Well, there is the perception of it as the Jewish Christmas, and that doesn't hurt in terms of marketing. It happens to be in December. It happens to be around that time, and it happens to be a very sort of inclusive holiday. It's almost comparable to Kwanzaa in that way, the one celebrated in the Black community, which also has quite a few days to it, and the different candles. All of the holidays focus on light. All of those December holidays, right? I mean, they're coming out of winter solstice. They're coming out of pagan holidays around that time that are all about like, let's make some light in this darkness. And I think that the timing is good for that reason. And it's also a holiday that doesn't have a liturgy that, again, that's in some way exclusive. In other words, you don't have to believe in anything to celebrate Hanukkah.
Yeah, no
You
kidding.
just have, if you're interested in a fun holiday that has a nice story and good food, that's pretty much all you need. And I'm honestly, like, the liturgy for Hanukkah is one page, and the songs use that liturgy a little bit. And basically, they say, we thank you for the miracles that have sustained us through all the generations. I mean, and that's it. And then you can play
Gotcha.
dreidel, and you find out, whether you got, whether you have to put some money in or take it out.
Got it. Yeah, that's a really good analysis of Hanukkah for sure. So, music is your life, and it's been your life certainly since high school and before. And you recommended to me a couple of tunes to play as part of the segment here. I opened up with Hoy Hanukkah, which to me was just a nice instrumental kind of to get us going. But I wanted to play this song called Ocho Candelitas. I hope I said that right, which translated means 8 candles, as in the 8 candles of Hanukkah. Tell me a little bit about this song before I play it. Where it came from and who's on it, and what its significance is.
Well, the first thing I want to say actually is that it's kind of funny because there are 9 candles on Hanukkah.
Oh, because
But
we're
of course,
including the middle candle, right?
there you
All
go. But no, but it's but that's one of those things. I'm sure rabbis have argued about that for many years. My God, why do we say 8 candles?
Right, right, right.
But there's 8 nights. There are 8 nights, and the idea is that basically the candles we celebrate for 8 days, and that song is all about celebrating for 8 days. And as I said, like eating good food, having a good time, just having a party. Now that song comes from the Ladino music tradition and was written by a woman named Flori Jagoda, who only passed away, I think, at the age of 103 or something,
Wow.
like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And she was amazing. She was from Bosnia Herzegovina, and that is an area that had a lot of Sephardic Jews, Jews tracing their origin back to Spain and Portugal
Hmm.
for the Spanish Inquisition. And then they were dispersed to North Africa, to Greece and Turkey, and then to that area of Bosnia Herzegovina and other parts of that part of Eastern Europe. And she was a troubadour. She went around and sang her songs in the same way. I would say she was sort of like a Ladino Woody Guthrie. So people know her songs, and they think they go back to the 1500s. And actually, they go back to southern Washington, D.C., maybe like 50 years ago, in most cases. But it's a great song. And I decided that since it had, Ladino is Judeo-Spanish, with a different pronunciation in certain cases, I decided to go mariachi on it. So
yeah, it's got a little bit of that of a Spanish feel, especially in the beginning there. Well, so let's play. We're going to play it for you right now, folks. This is Ocho Candelicas, 8 Candles.
Hanukkah linda sta aquí, ocho candelas para mí.
Hanukkah linda está aquí, 8 candelas para mí.
Ocho candelas para mí.
Muchas fiestas vou fazer, con alegrías y placer.
Muchas fiestas por fazer, con alegrías y placer.
Ocho candelas para mí.
Los pastelicos por fazer, con almendricas y la miel.
Los pastelicos vou comer, con almendricas y la miel.
Ocho candelas para mí.
And there you have it. That song is really sounds like a kind of a mixture of different cultures here.
Well, that in fact is the nature of all Jewish music, mixtures of different cultures. But in certain places and at certain times, it really produced some quality music.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's really a big deal. Probably the two most distinctive traditions among the Jewish music that are out there in the world are the Ladino tradition and the Yiddish tradition. The other ones tend to be a little more derivative, although they're wonderful. Judeo-Arabic, Judeo-Italian. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of these traditions because obviously Jewish communities have lived all over the world, and there are music traditions that come from those traditions. So but Judeo-Spanish is one of the big ones, and this is a wonderful song that is very well known these days.
Hankus, I appreciate you contributing to my holiday special here. I wish you a happy Hanukkah, and I wish you lots of music going forward, and I hope we get to talk again soon.
Thank you so much, Tom. It's such a pleasure to be on the show.
My pleasure to have you. Take care.
It's Christmas time again. Santa's making a list and he's checking it twice. He wants to know who's been naughty or nice.
Yes, Christmas is here again, and have you been naughty or nice in 2025? Well, the person who is asking that question is my next guest, a four-time returnee to Type Tune Tint, Sudi Rick Karatas. He goes by both Sudi and Rick. Sudi is his ancestral Turkish name, and Rick is his West Coast Hollywood name. I just basically call him by both. Rick has been here several times before. This is actually, as I said, his fourth time. Hello again from you're from Southern California, right, Van Nuys?
Ah, yes, we must stop meeting like this. Or
yes,
like this.
Yeah, this is, as I said, the fourth time Rick's been on. The first time we met was on the release of his book. Let's see, How Catering Sucked the Life Right Out of Me, which is a great book. We'll talk more about it in a minute, but we've talked about, Rick has books, he's got endless videos, he's a songwriter, he's a performer, he has a movie, and he's got music videos, and we're going to try to cover as much as we can in the next few minutes. Well, first of all, how have you been the past year?
I've been pretty good. Despite all the stuff going on, I try to still be creative and do my creative stuff. And
you do more than try. You succeed, and you're still doing some working, right? Didn't you just say you're still doing some catering and some other stuff?
I still do some, Rockstar Catering. Katie Chin is the best to work for. So in my book, How Catering Sucked the Life Right Out of Me, I praise her. She's one of the few. So she's, and there's a few others that I enjoy working with, but, and then I do some background work on commercials and films and stuff, but I love the writing. That's my main thing songs, the books, all that stuff. So,
well, you've got three books. We'll get to them in just a second. Let's deal with kind of the new stuff first. A new song is in the process of dropping right now, and it's a song, the proceeds of which are going to benefit the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Foundation, correct? Tell us the name of the song and just a little bit about it, what your role was, and all that good stuff.
Right. It's called Through a Twist of Fate, and I wrote the song, and Adrian Christian recorded it. He also recorded the other tribute song I wrote for Olivia called Her Spirit Lives On. And this is a great dance track, so it's very different from the other one.
Through a twist of fate. Through a twist of fate.
And the proceeds will go to her foundation. It's on Bandcamp now, and it'll officially drop on all the, iTunes and all that later in the month. But it's a really great song he put together. There's a couple different versions. I think December 26th, there'll be another listening party where people can listen to the two versions and comment and stuff. And so a lot of her song titles are in the song as well. So real fans will pick up at least 10 or 12 or 14 of her song titles sprinkled within the lyrics.
So your interest in this foundation is you were a fan of hers for a long time and still are, obviously.
Yeah, huge fan. And I wrote 3 songs, tribute songs to her. This is the second, and he's doing 3 of her covers, and it's going to become an EP later in the year of tribute to Olivia.
Gotcha. So cool. The song that we're talking about is called Through a Twist of Fate. The artist is Adrian Christian. Look him up on Bandcamp. Buy. The money goes to a good cause. And then you also, since the last time we talked, so last year we showed All I Want for Christmas Is You Gone, which is your musical song of holiday betrayal that you made into a couple of music videos. And I thought it was great. Since then, there's another video called, Singing Under the Influence. This seems to be about a karaoke singer who he needs to get under the influence to get on stage, or what? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it's singing, SUI, singing under the influence. When this guy swears he'll never do karaoke, but he has a few drinks and all of a sudden he's up there doing karaoke. We did a really fun music video to it. It won in the Long Island International Film Expo Best Music Video back in July. So that was cool. And it also
that was cool.
In another festival in Long Island, which I couldn't go to that one a few weeks later, the New York International Film Festival in Lindenhurst, Long Island.
So what's the Long Island tie here? You're 3,000 miles away.
Yeah, I'm from Syosset, Long Island originally. I grew up in Long Island. So that's one of the reasons I submitted it to that festival. And it was so cool to go back. And like 20 friends came that I haven't seen in years to the festival. And it was a lot of fun. And we had a great cast in that. Carla Guy edited it and directed it. And Larry Weissman was in it, Marie Todd, Lupe Carranza. We had all my friends that are in every time I'm doing a video, they show up and they do a great job.
Well, you can tell watching all your videos that the people it seems like you know each other because everybody seems to be very loose and relaxed and is having a good time doing them. So they're fun to watch for that. So you have two award-winning videos out right now, which is great. But you have many others, and you've got a lot of, I mean, you got a lot of Christmas tunes. You've got, the one we already heard, Naughty or Nice. You've got videos. You have White Sand Christmas, which is cool. Midnight is Clear. All I Want for Christmas Is You Gone. As I mentioned, All I Want for Christmas Is Some Sleep. So the holiday theme seems to be common for you. Is there any special reason for that? Is it just fertile ground or what?
I get a lot of ideas for Christmas songs. The White Sand Christmas one, it's a really simple video. We just put that one out this month. I filmed most of that on a cruise when I went on with Larry. We filmed a bunch of stuff, and I ended up putting a lot of that we did that to put into White Sand Christmas video. So that's the newest video, but it's just kind of more for fun. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, but I liked it. It actually took me away for a little bit. Holiday gift time, folks. I've done Gone Blue in the Face promoting my own book, so we're not going to do that. But Sudi's got three
I
really.
bought some of your books for gifts last
You
year.
are the man. Thank you very much. Sudi's got three books out there. I put them all together in one little display here. I start with Rainbow Relatives, which is well, tell us, what is Rainbow Relatives? Who's it aimed at, and what's it about?
It's for adults and speaking to kids about LGBTQ families and friends. So it could be for parents, teachers. Or people who have gay uncles or aunts or cousins or whatever. But in talking to kids about a lot of different subjects, about coming out to nieces and nephews, to transgender, to people who have two dads and two moms. And so it's a really good wide, and I collected stories and,
Yeah, it's a series of stories and anecdotes from different
yeah,
people, right? And how they
yeah,
dealt with it and how their
yeah.
advice for talking to kids. I mean, it's an important thing to do.
Yeah, and it's with a sense of humor, like there was a chapter, your uncle wasn't, there was no monster in your closet, but your uncle was. So it's all done with a sense of humor,
Gotcha.
but educational. Yeah.
And then my favorite, How Catering Sucked the Life Right Out of Me. This is a great behind the scenes uh, of, people like Sudi and others who actually work jobs where they're catering, they're serving food, they're dishing out on the other side of the steam table. This basic story here is how free food brings out the good and bad in people, I guess is the way to put it. There are celebrity stories here, there's behind the scenes stuff. It's really a fun read. I can't recommend it highly enough. And then the last book, the most recent book, Fork Social Media and the Algorithm It Wrote In On. And this is for anybody who's ever been thrown into Facebook jail or thrown off of social media for any other reasons. I have a friend, my good friend Fred Rossi, who's a local writer here. He was banned some years ago during the first Trump campaign for 30 days, and I'm not sure. Do you think is the algorithm still the same? I mean, since you wrote this, have they updated it at all, or is it still no good?
No, honestly, I don't think as many people are getting into, including myself. So I think they have cleaned it up. I'm not saying it's because of the book, but I'm not saying that.
Well, the whole point was that that the algorithm misinterprets absolute,
Certain words.
innocent things and
Right.
interprets them into whatever nasty or obscene or whatnot. And that's what your main complaint there was. Now we
Right.
think
And I
that's
think
got to,
I think they have fixed a lot of that because I don't
yeah.
feel like I'm seeing as many people have that issue. So,
Yeah, well, and
uh,
they're also maybe, they're very concerned about, kids and exposing them to hate and all that
right.
nasty shit that's out there. And that's all
Yeah.
good. So, folks, three books, they're available on Amazon. It's good, great Christmas gifts. They come quick. What the hell? Now, what about your holiday plans? You have a whole life on the East Coast here, don't you?
Well, yeah, no, this year I'm actually honestly staying in California. I'm going to go East Coast like January, like 8th or something. It's too expensive to fly to
Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
week. They charge you like $500 more or whatever. So,
Yikes.
so I head out there to see my mom and sister and stuff in January. But I mean, it's going to be a quiet, uh, relaxing Christmas here, and maybe I'll watch my movie Walk on My Pradas on Amazon Prime since that's
Oh
a
yeah,
little
so let's talk about that
Christmas
real
theme.
quick. So that movie has a holiday theme also. It starts with a kind of an enchanted Christmas ornament,
Right.
but then it launches into a very interesting story where two men kind of change roles, right? Tell us real quick what that's about.
Yeah, they get their sexual orientation switch. So the straight macho guy gets, thanks for Christmas Angel, his sexual orientation switch with his gay coworker 2 weeks before his wedding. So, and Nathaniel Marston stars in it, and Tom Arnold and Dee Wallace, and I co-wrote that with Tom Archdeacon. So it's still on Amazon Prime and like I think Tubi and Hits and YouTube Premium. So it's been out a long, long time, but people are still watching it, I guess. So
Well,
that's
I
good.
what I liked about it is it's it's an interesting different take on what's that movie with where the mother and the
Kind of Freaky Friday, although I
yeah,
don't
kind
have
of
the-
like that, except with two adult men who wake up one day and the
Right.
gay
And they
guy's
don't-
straight and the straight guy's gay,
Right.
and it's like, holy shit, now what do we do? But that movie, actually, there's teaching moments in that movie. You know, there's a kind of underlying theme of, you know, walk a mile in the other guy's shoes before you make fun, before you disparage. And that's actually a message that's relevant today for all kinds of other reasons that would be found on another podcast, not this one. But anyway, it's a great movie. Walk a mile in my Pradas and check it out. Rick, I hope you have another successful year in 2026. I really appreciate you coming back again.
I love it. This is my favorite show to be on.
Appreciate that. And you're one of my favorite
And I was on
guests.
Kimmel last night. No, I'm kidding.
Well, when you are, let us know, for God's sake. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I hope to see you in 2026.
Likewise, thanks you. Merry Christmas.
All right, brother, take care. And folks, I want to thank you for your support in 2025. You're a small but feisty group, and I appreciate your support coming back time and time again to watch, listen, and download these episodes. I wish you happy holidays and a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2026.
This Christmas night, I wanna